So we kicked off Smackdown this week with Rey Mysterio coming down to the ring. Well, we are in San Diego, California, so this does make sense, and he is making his long-awaited Smackdown return. But first they showed the recap of Raw Monday Night when ADR squashed Zack Ryder, and then you get the return of Rey Mysterio, who came out to nail ADR with the 619 and basically announced his return. Then he cuts a little promo saying he's back, and then what do you know? ADR and Ricardo Rodriguez come out there to interrupt his return, and he basically just tells them that I'm going to be the next World Heavyweight Champion. He doesn't say it's his destiny, but surprisingly enough. But anyway, after he says that, then you get Dolph Ziggler and Vicky Guerrero coming out there. Surprisingly, she didn't say excuse me, but then again, she didn't have a mic this time either, so anyway, if he basically says that if anybody's going to take out Rey Mysterio being the next World Heavyweight Champion, it's going to be me. And Rey comes up with a great idea that those two should shut up and fight each other. Well, we're going to shut up, Ziggler says, but we're gonna put our forces together. Then they kind of make like they're going towards Rey Mysterio. Then Sheamus comes out there to basically save the day, and basically what this set up was a main event tag team match between Sheamus and Rey Mysterio against Dolph Ziggler and ADR. So that will be interesting. Yeah, right. Alright, first match of the night was an 8-man tag between Kofi and R-Truth and Primo and Epico against the Primetime Players with AEW and Hunoko and Camacho. Pretty nondescript match. Primetime Players go over on Primo after the distraction by Titus O'Neil, and Darren Young hits the gut buster of sorts, kind of like Roderick Strong. But the real star of this was Abraham Saddam Washington. The more I get to hear him on television, the better. That's all there is to it. But then I forgot to mention that the Big Show came down to the ring after the match and basically cleaned house. He pretty much destroyed their whole tag team division, pretty much buried them. He hit the WMD on R-Truth, and then he also hit it on Epico or Primo, one of the two. I know it's one of them, but you notice that the Primetime Players they got the hell out of Dodge while getting was good. Probably one of the smartest things they've done. And then they show the recap of Raw from Money in the Bank, where John Cena won the Raw Money in the Bank match, and it's really no surprise considering that once he put his name into the match, you knew he was going to win. At least I knew he was going to win. They never gave me any indication that he wasn't going to win, and so it wasn't a big shock there. But it's just, I'm not a John Cena fan. I haven't been a John Cena fan for ever since he did the rapper gimmick and the thugonomics and that. But I mean, it's just one of those things. It's whether we like it or not, John Cena is the face of the WWE. Bottom line. And with that said, I think he will win on Monday night when he cashes in on CM Punk. I mean, he did like the honorable thing, I guess you could say, because most times when somebody has Money in the Bank, they wait until the champion is at his weakest point, you know. But I guess Cena wants to do it the old-fashioned way, earn the title. Kind of like in 2006 when Rob Van Dam had the Money in the Bank and he cashed it in, ironically, on John Cena at that pay-per-view at the Hammerstein Ballroom, and he ended up winning the title. So, but if Cena were to lose this match, I don't think it would really hurt him that much. And that's probably about the only guy in the company you could probably say that about, that losing the Money in the Bank match after he cashes it in. I mean, that's probably not going to hurt him all that much. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens on Monday night. Okay, now here's one of the few characters I like on either Raw or SmackDown. Damien Sandow. If I had enough room in my little room here, I would have done a cartwheel, but I don't want to hurt myself, so that's not going to happen. But he took on Zack Ryder. It was funny when Ryder came out there. Sandow made him stop his music for like this brainless broski. But anyway, this is a really short match. Ryder gets squashed again. Sandow wins, and I really like. I keep harping on this, but I really like this character. Hopefully, somewhere down the line, he gets a shot at Christian to take the IC title from him, and hopefully they give him a nice little run with it. So, part of your 1 hour main event segment is the Peep Show with Christian and his guests AJ and Daniel Bryan. They showed the recap of Daniel Bryan's proposal to AJ on Monday Night Raw. Well, somehow I don't think they're really buying turning Bryan into a face just because he proposed to AJ and apologized for everything. It's like they're not buying it. So, anyway, with that, I mean, Christian asked AJ if she really knew what she was doing at all, and she ends up slapping him, and he calls her Bridezilla. Well, that's a pretty good statement there. And then basically what this segment led into was another Daniel Bryan versus Kane match. The psychotic ex-boyfriend, I guess, as Christian called him, but pretty typical Daniel Bryan Kane match, except this time it ends in a DQ after AJ jumps on Kane's back. And I mean, she's just basically hanging on for dear life with a sleeper hold, trying to. You almost wonder if, I mean, with their constant PDA and this kind of thing, it almost makes you wonder if something's going to happen on Monday night where, like, the wedding's going to be off or something like that, or if Daniel Bryan is really just setting her up to have her jump off the deep end or something. But we shall see, shouldn't we? Shall we? Then they show a commercial for the new Undertaker DVD set, which chronicles his WrestleMania 20-0 streak, starting with his match at WrestleMania 7 against Jimmy Superfly Snuka, and going to this year's WrestleMania with the end of the era match with Triple H, with Shawn Michaels as a guest referee. Then you got the two matches with Shawn Michaels in there, and then you got the match with Ric Flair. Woo! Then you got the clunkers against the late Giant Gonzalez, the Hell in a Cell with Big Boss Man, but I'm really looking forward to getting this DVD set. And then probably my favorite match of the card on the card tonight, even though this match only lasted a couple minutes, is Heath Slater going up against the guy that I was privileged enough to meet last weekend at the Wrestling Hall of Fame, and actually got to hang out with him on Friday and Saturday night, and hell of a great guy. Road Warrior Animal, yes, and I do have pictures to prove it. But Heath Slater still sucks, and you know, you got when Road Warrior Animal come out there, the fans still chant LOD, LOD, and you got that Road Warrior pop that they are pretty famous for. And Road Warrior Animal wins in a couple minutes with a power slam and a big elbow smash. So Heath Slater, you still suck. And Animal, you frickin' rule, man. Alright, then you had a backstage segment with Ricardo Rodriguez and Vicky Guerrero. And they were talking, you know, and Ricardo said something to her. I don't know what the hell he said to her because it was in Spanish, but she ended up going into a conniption, and it was hilarious. Oh man, it was funny. I don't know what the hell. Like I said, I don't know what the hell he said to her, but she was just beside herself. And the main event, I don't really know why I watched this because it was pretty predictable. Between Sheamus and Rey Mysterio against Dolph Ziggler and ADR. If you've seen a Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler match, you've seen them all. And then Rey Mysterio against ADR, that's kind of pretty predictable too. Yeah, the match was pretty good actually, but it's just when you see something so many times, you can pretty much guess what happens. Ricardo causes the disqualification. Then afterwards, Sheamus gets kicked in the head. And then ADR goes for the cross arm breaker at the end of the match. And Ziggler's on the outside, and he's grabbing it. Vicky's giving him the Money in the Bank briefcase. And he looked, and like Monday night, he looked like he was gonna cash it in. No, excuse me, on Money in the Bank pay-per-view, he looked like he was gonna cash it in. But Ray stopped him this time, gave him the 619, and then Ziggler eats another brogue kick. God, how fucking predictable is this? Because it happens all the frickin' time. It seems like whenever Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler are in the ring, Ziggler's gonna eat a brogue kick at one point of the match or another. So didn't even really have to watch this match, because I probably could have told you what was gonna happen even without watching it. So okay, final thoughts on this show. Obviously, my mark-out moment was seeing Road Warrior Animal squashing Heath Slater. And anytime Slater gets squashed, it's a great thing for me. And probably a lot of other people, although the internet, I think, is starting to like him, but what does the internet really know? I'm thinking if Rey Mysterio and ADR don't meet at SummerSlam, I think, God, I really hope this doesn't happen, but it might anyway. Might end up having a triple threat between Sheamus, ADR, and Ziggler. It's like, that would be a who cares match. Ziggler will probably eat the brogue kick and Sheamus will go over. Whoop-de-doo. And Sandow beating Ryder clean, quick. Hopefully Christian will be defending the IC title against Sandow here pretty soon, but maybe that won't be for a while. But anyway, I didn't think there was much to write home about on this show, really, even with the return of Rey Mysterio on Smackdown. So anyway, let me know what you thought down below, and I'll see you later.